Hi, my name is Valerie Poma, and I am a senior at Michigan State University studying marketing and sports business management. I grew up playing sports of all types and have truly found a passion in understanding and communicating with varieties of people. I'm grateful for the opportunity to have been selected to move forward in your hiring process and to complete this interview video. So the first question is to tell me about a time you effectively demonstrated leadership skills. So during my sophomore year, I rushed a professional business fraternity. I was elected as our pledge officer, meaning that I took on extra responsibilities during our pledging process, including collecting dues from other pledges and a few other things. Considering nobody really wanted to take on this role, I kind of decided to go outside my comfort zone and take the initiative and run. On top of that, being a leader means more to me than just taking on the extra responsibility and then succeeding to show the rest of the group that it can be done. It means ensuring each person in the group succeeds and benefits to the largest extent for themselves along with the organization. In order to do this, I made sure to finish my requirements as a pledge early so that I had the time and the knowledge and the ability to provide help and guidance to other pledges. So in doing that, I made time to meet with them at the library and go with them to complete the requirements, although mine were already finished. And in the end, I was able to really grow as a person and realize the extent of my potential and how good I actually was at time managing. And when I'm dedicated and put my mind towards something, I'm able to do it. And at the same time, I was able to help several other people become full members of Alpha Kappa Psi. The second question is to tell about a time that I was innovative. So last summer, I worked at AAA as just a general intern. They hired myself and another intern, but when I got there, they really only had enough work for one intern, and she had previously been an intern with them. So I found that I needed to be a little bit innovative with my role with the company by not just taking on the roles I was given and, they expected of me. I found I had to innovate the role and find other tasks that I could carry out around the office so that I wasn't bored and that I was also being beneficial for the company while I was there. So I began by asking all of the travel agents and insurance agents, if there was anything you could do just to help them out, or if there's any projects around the office that had been pushed off due to no one having time to do them. And eventually, I found that I was doing so much more outside my role than other interns had in the past. I was taking care of inventory and stock as it came in. I was stocking the shelves. I was updating the insurances agents' client profiles, which is something that they had been holding off on doing for so long but needed to be done severely. So I was able to catch up all their records on their clients with all of their files and insurance information and whatnot. And I was also taking care of the back room that had been unorganized and kind of left there for a long time. And in the end, I was really able to do a lot more for the office than they had originally expected of me. And I think it was great that I was able to role make versus just role take when I got there. And I think overall the office began running more efficiently because of, my innovation in this role. And I was able to be more productive and more beneficial for AAA than they probably had anticipated me being when they hired me. The next question is to tell about time I collaborated efficiently with a team. So this summer, I've just been going to school on campus and working my part-time job as a front desk, a service center representative, I guess it's called, at Michigan State. But during each summer, the dorm I work in, they hold conferences and they hold, a number of groups they have come stay with them. And so there's a very specific check-in and check-out process that comes along with having these conferences stay with us. And there's a few that are exceptionally large, and in the previous years, they've been very chaotic to check in because you have busfuls of people coming at one time. And one thing we really don't see a lot at the desk is a volume of people. We usually just get, one person at a time. And so this year, we really wanted to make the check-in process a good experience for these larger groups. So the supervisors did a great job. They made they pre-assigned the people their rooms, which we hadn't done before. They made check-in packets that had already had all their keys and their access cards pulled, which was a huge part of it. And then we were able to, when I got there to help actually do the checking in, we had separate tables set up, and each table had a different we had a different function of the tables set up, or a different function of the check-in process at each table. So we were kind of able to each specialize, I guess you could say, in each portion of the check-in process, and we were able to streamline the process and make it go a lot quicker, because each function, my function, I was only taking 20 to 30 seconds to look up their name, grab their packet, and hit their name and check them in, and then they were able to move to the next table to get further information on their itinerary, get their T-shirt, get their specific check-in information, and etc. But it was able to, the process, we were able to communicate really effectively and get these people moving from one table to the next really quickly, versus having one long line where just I was doing every single piece. So I think as a team, we were able to each find, one function we were able to do really well, do that part efficiently, and, just the teamwork that we had that day made the check-in process so efficient and quick that, one, we ended up finishing the check-in an hour early, which had never been done before. We had several residents, come up to us and tell us that, in previous years it was so chaotic and that this year it was so simple, and they were glad about that. And lastly, there was definitely a lot more accuracy in the check-in process. There wasn't a lot of, issues, and any issues that did come about, because we had each just the one function, we were able to find the issue and fix it on just on the spot, versus writing a note down and trying to fix it later and trying to track down the resident later. So I think overall the great teamwork that we were able to utilize there was just, we had a way more efficient. It really increased our client satisfaction, and it also led us to have more accurate records. And then the last question is to tell about a time that I creatively solved a problem. So at my first, real internship in the spring, I worked at an accounting firm in Lansing, and I worked within an audit team where we audited low-income government housing, a company on site. So since we had to audit on site, we had to use laptops and our own equipment, our own internal server, and all these things to carry out the audit in the small room that we were given. And then one day in the middle of the audit, one of the other interns' computers just completely crashed and went down. And we don't have extra laptops. We just have one per person. So since we could not get the computer to work and we wouldn't be able to get it fixed for, a week or two, we kind of had to be creative with the fact that we were lacking a computer, and to make sure that each person was still able to come to work each day, be productive, and get their part of the audit done, so that we could finish this audit by the day it was due. And so there's only 3 of us there the day that it crashed, so us 3 were able to kind of sit there and find a schedule that worked, where if one person left their computer this day, we could use their computer on the day that they're not there, because we usually didn't leave our computers there. We would take our computers home just for security reasons that I don't need to get into. But so we ended up finding a schedule that worked, where no matter what, there was always the number of laptops there that day that would be there, that would match the amount of people that would be there. And it was nice to ensure that each person would be able to come to work and work on their work, versus someone coming there and then not having the proper tools. But after a lot of time and thought, we were able to figure that out, and we began utilizing each laptop more efficiently. So versus the one person who had a whole laptop for just 2 days of work and the other person who was there 3 days, we were able to use each laptop for about the whole 5 days a week. So I think we obviously increased efficiency on our resources, but we also were able to stay on task. It also improved our teamwork skills because we had to communicate on, who was coming to work the next day, who wasn't, who could leave their laptop, who could take their laptop. So it obviously took a good amount of teamwork, but also improved our teamwork and our communication skills because we had to effectively communicate, whether we were going to be there the next day or not. And, we had to be good teammates and agree to take home the extra laptop to bring in for the person the next day. But on top of that, it gave us the ability to complete the audit on time, which we did turn it all in on time, which was great. And without, being creative in the solution, we may not have been as efficient and we may not have finished it on time. So that is the last question. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to go forward in this hiring process. I really look forward to learning more about this company. I look forward to hearing back from you about this hiring process. And if there are any questions, anything I can clear up for you, any further information I can give you that can help you with this hiring process, I'd be more than happy to do so. So you can reach me at my cell phone at 734-516-1187 or my email, pomavale@msu.edu. Again, thank you so much. I'm very grateful for this opportunity.